Hello, Capricorn. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Gilded Tarot Royale by Chiro Marchetti, text by Barbara Moore. On the bottom here are some social media links. There's a website at the bottom, llewellyn.com. Feel free to check that out if you're interested, of course. Supportive Oracle cards, spellcasting Oracle cards by Flavia, Barbara, and Lisbeth. They're their full names if you're interested. On the back here are some websites. I notice at the end there, shewhoisart.com. Feel free to check out whatever you're interested in, if you're interested, of course. Okay, what do we have for Capricorn? I feel like somebody just pinched me. What's up with that? No pinching. That's it? Okay. It's very... That's interesting. There's a lot of movement coming at the end of this, and I'm kind of like, the way something kind of bursts forward sometimes, I usually don't think of that as an earth thing, especially Capricorn, but I think what we're starting to get into here is that there's a situation you've been working on. You've been putting a lot of effort into this. The way this feels is like, it's like the tempo has been going the same tempo, same tempo, same tempo, same tempo. But you've been doing double work, or double duty. While the tempo's been the same tempo, same tempo, same tempo, at the same time it's like you've been researching and figuring out what to do next. Kind of like, I feel like you're very well aware that the song, at some point the song will end. This is not going to go on forever. The song will end, the tempo will change. I want to get ahead of it. I want to know before it happens. I want to make my choice before we get there. So that way we can just transition into the next one and keep going. I don't want to lose momentum. You've seen it coming. And I feel like for Capricorn, it's kind of like you've lived life. You know how life does this. It just happens. And if you can get ahead of it and see it before it happens, it's a lot more advantageous to you. Because when things go, they take a quick left or something, it's like, I don't like that. It's kind of like, I don't like that. But if I'm like, well, I know it's coming. I know we're coming to a dark part in the path, and I can see on the other side of this a little bit where, you know, there's three different things that happen. You go in this area, but people come out three different ways, so there's going to be a choice. And it's like, none of these seem like a straight path forward. It's kind of like it goes in like this, and two go off like this way in different directions, and one goes down over here. So it's kind of like, I don't know exactly what happens in this spot here, but people go a different direction from here. So I see it happening, and I'm trying to research what's going to happen in that dark spot. What's going to happen where I can't see in? Do people know? Is there information I can get? I'd like to plan ahead if I can. You do have some support. You have some good support here. When you first saw it coming, I feel like it made you uncomfortable. But that seems like that's just an honest, normal reaction. Not like it, you didn't like it, but it wasn't like negative, like, oh, it was more like, oh, here it comes. More like that. You do have somebody who's been through it. And they were very honest with you. I feel like this energy could still be around you, so it's not like it's gone, but like it seems like it's already started by the time we're doing this reading. The Hierophant comes in, half out. The Ace of Pentacles comes in, half out. And the Ten of Cups. It makes me feel like whoever's advising you or trying to get you more information, they have some sort of relatable experience. Even if they're very young, they've gone through something similar where they've kind of kept what they want, and they couldn't keep it all, though. They've kept what they tried. They kept half of it, basically, and lost half of it, whatever it was. It seems like as they were going through the situation, they're just kind of like letting you know, like when I went through that, And for some of you, I feel like this person could be noticeably younger than you. I don't know why we keep mentioning it, but in case it means something. And they've gone through it. They've gone through something very similar. And it's kind of like when I went through that dark path, I kind of knew what was going to happen, but I could still only hold on to half of it. I could only hold on to half of what I wanted. And I feel like they're preparing you for that. Like, I can tell you only so much, and you'll be able to put it to some use, but you won't be able to have everything the way you want it. And I feel like even though it's kind of like, well, that's not ideal, it's better than losing everything. And it's kind of like, all right, so I'm only going to keep about half of it. Do I get to decide what I get to keep? Or is it going to depend on what happens as I go through the process? And they're going, it's going to depend on what happens to you during the process. You do seem to be preparing for this very well. Very well. Like, as much as somebody can have an advantage going into the situation, you're ahead of the game as much as you can be. You're planning, you're doing your best with it. It's going to be one of those fly by your seat of the pants type of things, but you have a roundabout idea about what's going to happen on this roller coaster. You're getting ready for it. People have helped you. Somebody has helped you with information. It's all up to you about how you're going to use this information, and I feel when I get the Capricorn energy with this, that works. You don't want somebody to tell you what to do. You want somebody to give you the information and inform you so you can decide what you want to do. You just, like, give me the supplies, tell me what's going to happen, and I'll do what I need to do. I'll make my decisions. I'll put my life together. Thank you very much. And this is how this is. They're like, well, here's the supplies we can give you. Use what you want. Here's the information we can give you. Use what you want. And it's up to you. If you use none of it, that's fine. Nobody's upset. If you use all of it, that's fine. Nobody's upset. But that's what you want. I want to decide what I want to use. I want to decide how I want to do it. And you're putting it together on your terms. This seems to be good in that respect. It doesn't start right away, though. There's like a very stalled start. I want to say stalled start. Like, it's kind of like it feels like it should be going, and it just doesn't go. You got the hair. That's not the Hierophant. Hierophant's over to the side here on the dice. So, I don't know why we're... You got the Hanged Man. Maybe I'm just tripping on my words. And you got the Dreams. And you're waiting for this to show up. Transformation. You know it's coming. It's better to know than not know. It is coming. I feel like by the time you watch this reading, no matter when you're watching it, these readings are timeless, but I would say less than half a month. 2 weeks tops before it starts. But it seems like it should have already started. That seems to be a piece of this too. Like, it seems like it already should have started. It's going to kind of start in less than 2 weeks. I keep getting 13 days, which is 1 day short of 2 weeks. You're ready. You're ready. You got your bags packed. You got everything set up. You got the windows. You've had everything ready for a couple weeks probably by this point. You probably also had the attitude of like, well, I'm not going to pack things. We're going to go at some point. So I guess I'm just going to live out of boxes until we do. That's just how we're going to do it. If it's 2 weeks I have to live like this, then I guess I do. Hopefully it's not 2 months. I know these readings are general and subjective to your situation, but I also feel like you're fine. You're fine. You seem to be fine. When it finally moves forward, you knew it was coming. It seems like, yes, I'm ready. Like, let's do it. Let's stop dragging me through it. Let's just get it done. Let's just start. Let's just get going. When it does start, you seem to be ready because I get the peace card. Even though there's a lot of effort coming in, a lot of work coming in, you're at peace because it's finally starting to go forward. This situation is going to go much better than expected. You were hoping at best to keep half, to get half of what you wanted, to keep half of what you had, something like that. I feel like you're going to get like 70-80%. You're going to to your favor. It just rolls your way. It's not because you planned better than somebody else. It's just things went your way. I feel like you're going to acknowledge that, and I feel like you're going to realize that I planned the best I could. It's also, it's not just going 70% because things went your way, but because you planned as well. So if you hadn't planned, it wouldn't have went 70% your way, so let's be fair. So let me be fair about that. But it could have, if things didn't go your way and you still kept 30%, you would have only kept 30% because you planned and tried. You're realizing that there is some type of variable here that was unplannable, that things did go your favor, go your way a little bit more than expected. Somebody else who didn't plan didn't get it as well as you. So the fact that you did, and you did the best you could, that did go to your benefit, definitely. But things also went to your favor. Like, things lined up well, better than expected. So the fact that you had everything on plan and everything on point just helped you keep more. So I feel like other people in the same situation maybe kept like 30-40%. You did a lot better because you planned. I just want to be fair about that. I feel as you move past it, you move into this next era. It feels like you're going into another era, like a whole new era of life. You're learning a lot during this process. The fact that more of it's going your way than expected is really bringing your energy up. It's really energizing you. Sure, why not? Energizing you. You seem to get I feel like laser focus. Like, all right, I've gotten through the hardest part. I understand more about this than I did before. I know where I'm going now. I know what I can control. I know what I can't control. And I feel like I have laser focus to get what I need to get done. You seem to kind of like advance into the situation really fast. Kind of like, I need to know what I'm doing. I need to understand what's going on. It's kind of like going into a new job, not really understanding what your job is going to be. It's kind of like, I'm going to go work over in this department. I have a general idea what they do. I need to make money. It pays good money. And then you get into it and you're like, okay, some of this I don't understand. So what I'm going to do, because everything seems, well, not everything, it's going more to my favor. People are liking me and working with me better than I thought. I'm going to like get right into this, and I'm going to put a lot of effort to understand what this is, and I'm going to learn how to do this, and I'm going to get better at this quicker than I normally would. I'm putting more effort. I'm trying to learn it faster, on my terms, on your terms. But it's almost like, it reminds me of people who, if you use college as an example, and this is stressful, but it's kind of like when you're going to college and you're like, it's an abbreviated 2-year program. It's kind of like, I'm trying to understand it as much as possible. When I get up, I'm reviewing things. On my lunch, I'm reviewing things. Before I go to bed, I'm reviewing things. And I'm trying to understand the process, and I feel like for the next 2 years, I'm constantly reviewing things to understand it better, to retain it more, to make sure I understand where this goes, and if it doesn't go where I want, what I need to do with it. The ins and outs, and not just the static 1 + 2 = 3. The also like, well, if 1 has a little extra, it's 1.2, and 2 has a little less, it's 2.6. That actually is what? That's actually 3 point blah blah blah, or I forget what I just put on there. So so it's like the 3.8, so it's closer to 4. Like, you're getting the ins and outs. You're putting in the work, you know. You're going to put in a lot of effort. You're going to go gung-ho on this, is what I'm getting. I don't feel like this is a normal Earth response to things, to go gung-ho on it, like right out the gate. But I feel like it's going good. It's going my way. I want to hold on to it. The more I know, the better I can do it. The more I understand how it's supposed to be done, the more I can lock it in, the more I can stabilize it, the more I can keep it, and I want to. It's a very exciting time for you. I also feel like other people are going to look at you like you have 2 heads. Because you're going to be like, this is awesome, I'm having a great time. And they're like, what are you talking about? You are working constantly. And you're like, yeah, but I know what I'm doing and it's going where I want it to. And people are like, what is going on? Like, you are shocking people because you are owning the situation. It's going so much better and you're working so much. People are expecting you're going to get overworked, but I feel like you're flourishing. It could be a 2-year thing, so But it's also kind of like, because you're invested in it and you're not going anywhere, and this, you're going to retain this knowledge, you're going to keep it. So it's like I do this 2-year abbreviated, crash course thing, 2 years, and for most people that's like, ooh, 2 years, that's a lot. You're invested in it and you're going to retain it, and you're taking all this value you're gaining in those 2 years and you're applying it from there forward. I just feel like the more you know, the stronger you get, the better it goes for you, the more you're happy. I really feel like people are going to question, like, oh, Capricorn, you're doing too much, aren't you? And you're like, just stay out of my way. Just stay out of my way. I know what I'm doing. Just stay out of my way. It's just kind of like, just stay out of my way. I'll do what I need to do. Just stay out of my way. Again, did I show this? You're gonna love this. I feel like you're gonna love this, and other people aren't gonna understand it. Well, not everybody, but there's gonna be certain people like, wow, like this is not what we expected. This is your thing. This is your thing. When you get that far, it just I really see you enjoying it though, because it's making sense. It's adding value. Adding value, you get to keep. I get you're really, really excited about it. All right, are we gonna shut this down here? I'm gonna shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.